Good evening, boys and girls, and this is another video of Guess I Told You So.
Well, space fans, exciting news, huh? And there's even more in part 2.
Remember a few weeks ago, oh god, it's not a few weeks ago, it's probably about 2 weeks ago now, that I did a cringe video reaction to the 355, an all-female action spy movie that we've been craving for. Well, not me personally, but Jessica Chastain, because apparently she takes a little germ and multiplies it by 20. And here we have the results. So before I can't keep a straight face today, but seriously, before I go to Rotten Tomatoes, let's just read an excerpt from the Hollywood Reporter, who were unfortunate enough to watch this film. So, it's really pretty funny what they say here actually, but there's more to come on Rotten Tomatoes. There's ample action, but less excitement in The 355, a production launched with great fanfare at the 2018, Cannes Film Festival. That's Universal is now dropping on the marketplace with minimal fuss. I wonder why. The idea for an espionage thriller led by an ensemble of women was hatched by producer and star Jessica Chastain while serving on the Cannes competition jury the previous year, sparked by the billboards lining the croissant pulping potential blockbusters, mostly fronted by male leads. Here we go again, wowee. The impulse to put kick-ass women in charge for a change is commendable, but the journeyman results suggests the pitfalls of starting with the packaging instead of the storytelling inspiration. Now, look, for my money, if James Cameron had did this back in the early 90s, you wouldn't be talking about this, would you? In fact, if you think about True Lies, even Jamie Lee Curtis gets a chance to show what she's made of. But, you know, we're talking 2022 now, folks, not 1990s. Given the genesis of the project, perhaps the biggest disappointment is that rather than put a woman behind the camera, remember what I said in my reaction? Catherine Bigelow just looked at the script and thought, this is a piece of shit, I don't want to deal with this, and moved on. Chastain recruited Simon Kinberg, a man with only one directorial credit to his credit, and that is, of course, the X-Men Dark Phoenix movie, which nobody went to see, whose extensive credits include as a producer and screenwriter are more impressive than his previous directing gig, the film I just mentioned. And you know, the 355, I have no idea what it's about, except they explain it here. It's the codename nod to a real-life female operative who conveyed key information about British troop movements to American generals serving under George Washington in the Revolutionary War. Doesn't mean diddly squat to me. It really doesn't. And that's the thing with Jessica Chastain. I like Zero Dark 30. I like it a lot. But whenever she's on screen, you just want to fast forward as quickly as possible. You don't have that luxury, unfortunately, in the cinema, which is where I first saw it, because her acting is over the top. It's cringe. It's like, please, Oscar Academy, please give me the Oscar now, because I'm acting my guts out for you right now. And it's just not a pretty sight. When that film gets more interesting for me is when you have like the male co-stars like James Gandolfini, Chris Pratt, Joel Edgerton. When those guys are on the screen, they light it up, man, with little to minimum effort. They're just so charismatic. But Chastain, she's begging to show that she's got charisma on the big screen. It really is a case of overacting where she's concerned. But let's go over to Rotten Tomatoes. This is, wow. This is just hilarious. So it currently stands, here we go. I know this stands at 17%. Where did I see that score? Let's go back a minute. Here we go, 17%, and it opens tomorrow. Yep, this is the little fanfare they were talking about. So, what did the actual reviews say? So the final results suggest that more effort went into crafting a top fight ensemble than giving these female characters to play or crafting a spy story that didn't hit all the obvious plot beats in all of the obvious international locations. The film treats its premise as the backdrop for a trite celebration of empowerment and teamwork among professional women. Even a collection of the most talented actresses, and Jessica Chastain, can't elevate this tired, generic action movie to new heights. Oh my god, I just feel tired reading that last one. Despite an all-star cast, this tepid action adventure leaves a lot to be desired. The type of bland spy action thriller we've seen done so many times before, and mostly better. Oh, ouch! Despite the cast's best efforts, the film stumbles out of the starting blocks and fails to pick itself up out of the inevitable sea of testosterone. One for the victory, lads. One for the victory, mate. The 355 feels as if it needed to set up a franchise, only to get discouraged before it reaches its first finish line. The 355 is afraid to have fun with its story, but it should be embarrassed to take a rote formula so seriously. You know what? Watch the first Austin Powers movie, The International Man of Mystery from 1997. Look how Liz Hurley, my girl, look how she's not afraid to embrace the fun of the role, and she gets to kick ass in the movie. Yes, she is the subject of lustful desire from Austin Powers himself. Now, the way those two play off each other and the actual final result, it's really, really cool. I don't get it, man. The 355 is filled with generic tropes, lackluster action, could have told you that from the trailer, and an uninspired story that will leave audiences yawning, not yearning for more. This just gets better and better. January release or not, it's still a shame that all this talent and epic fight in a fish market and some cool shootouts and chases were wasted in this way by Roger Moore. Obviously not that Roger Moore. Here's a shocker. Radio Times, Hannah Flint, not in like Flint. The film just about avoids female empowerment cliches to deliver us an enjoyably gritty and glamorous actioner. Oh dear. Isn't that a big surprise? Like, one of the positive reviews comes from a female film reviewer. I am so shocked. Oh my god. Wow. The film just about avoids female empowerment cliches to deliver us an enjoyably gritty and glamorous actioner. Wowee. Despite what all the other seasoned pros have said on here, and she comes out with, well, no, I disagree with that because it actually avoids everything that these other people make it out to be. Absolute codswallop. I'll be ignoring that review, that's for sure. Here's another positive review. While the story doesn't add anything new or significant to the espionage genre, it's the thrill of the fast-paced action scenes and a charismatic ensemble that makes it worthwhile watching at least once. So, the bottom line is, the 355, don't go and watch it. You'll be wasting your money, you'll be wasting your time, and since Universal does not have a streaming service, we can't watch it by any other means, if you get my drift. And yes, it's a PG-13, it's got sequences of strong women, so strong violence, and brief, strong language. Okay, whatever. But next week, the 14th of January, Scream, that's the one I am looking forward to the most because it's from those dudes who made Ready or Not. Now, Ready or Not, if you've not seen it, it's not a woke movie. You clearly know the situation. Samara Weaving is this newlywed wife and she finds herself in this precarious situation that she's got to get out of. She's never used a gun. She's screaming a lot. She gets cut up a lot. That's the kind of female empowerment action movie I love to watch because you're giving us somebody that we've never seen before, but at the same time, they're not overpowered. They've got to use their wits and their savvy and their cunning to get out of a precarious situation. So watch Ready or Not for a good time, that is for sure. And I'm wondering if the directors of that film can bring that same energy to the Scream and maybe revitalize a franchise that's been long forgotten. So the 355, I'm not going to watch it, but you can pay me £1,000 and I might go and watch it on your behalf. So if you enjoyed this quick review today, folks, and it wasn't my review, it's the review from Rotten Tomatoes and The Hollywood Reporter, leave a like below, smash that like button, and I'll see you on the next video.
Change is coming, something new is in the air.